This is a great picture of what a lack of emotional intelligence looks like. And everybody knows this, but out of control emotions can make smart people do some stupid things. It doesn't matter how much IQ you have. If you don't have a good grasp on your own emotions, your own motivations, and what's driving your behavior, it may take some behavior that's not really effective. This person right here is probably not going to listen to the person yelling at him. He's going to think he's crazy, and it's not going to have the impact that you want to have if you're just using your emotions kind of radically and without some forethought. So when I was an engineer, IQ was kind of considered to be the end all be all, but really emotional intelligence is essential to making decisions. There has even been some cases where someone has had the amygdala, which is the emotional part of our brain. They've had that connection with the prefrontal cortex, which is the more logical, rational side. They've had that connection between these two parts of the brain damaged or severed, and those people had a complete inability to make decisions. They couldn't even decide what they wanted to order for dinner. And it's just because emotions are such an essential part of making decisions. You can't make a decision based on logic alone. You need to have some sort of intuition about which is the best route to go. I'll give you an example. A lot of rational and logical people say that the smart thing to do is to save for retirement. So they say you should put your money into investments and it will build and you'll have money for retirement. But what's behind that is really an emotion. There's an emotion, a need for security, a need for, there's also a fear of not having enough when you retire. So there's an emotion behind that decision. And then they use logic to back it up. Well, if you put in this amount of money, it will grow this amount percentage over time and you'll have more money in the end. So they starts with emotion and then they use logic to back it up. And then I'll give you a completely opposite example. There's other people that say you shouldn't worry about retirement. You should just live for today because you could die tomorrow. And again, there's an emotion behind that. There's a fear of dying tomorrow. And there's also a passion. There's some sort of liveliness or emotional passion behind that. So, and then they justify it with logic. They'll say, people die every day. There's car crashes. Hundreds of people die every day. And even children can get cancer. You never know when you're going to die. So it starts with emotion and then it goes to logic. And this is really how the brain operates, the way I'm describing this, because when we get a stimulus, whenever we see something, whether it's a shadow at night or it's a family member or it's someone we just met, the first thing that happens is we have an emotional response. And then it takes about twice as long for the prefrontal cortex to kick in. We have an immediate emotional response before our rational mind even has a chance. You can think of when somebody screams, they don't sit there around and think, oh, maybe now should be a good time to scream. I think I'll scream. No, they just scream. It's an instantaneous thing. Emotions kick in and you're in fight or flight and you're responding instantaneously. Then it takes a little bit of time for the rational side to come around and to start to operate and have a say. And this is a great quote from Aristotle. He said, anyone can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not easy. This is a great example of what emotional intelligence is about, because it's not about denying our emotions and it's not about completely giving into our emotions. It's about using our emotions as information, something to help inform our decisions and help us make better decisions that are aligned with who we are as a person, that are aligned with our integrity, and also use that information to help us make powerful actions. If we're going to make a real difference, we need to use that anger to and direct it towards something constructive. And it's much more than just anger. It deals with all the emotions and all of yourself too. So it really leads to a sense of personal power. It leads to, once you know and understand yourself better, you can have better integrity because you'll make decisions that are aligned with who you are and your values. And having more empathy, more understanding of others really leads to building better bonds with people, connecting with people, leading them better. And all of that leads to better trust with the people around you too. When you understand them, when you empathize with them, you build that trust, you build that rapport, and they're willing to listen to you more. They're willing to understand your opinion. They're willing to follow you. Thank you for watching this clip from our Emotional Intelligence Workshop. If you'd like to gain access to the entire workshop, including all of the handouts and tools that come along with this course, please click the link in this video.